Hi, my name is TaraAlder with Alderbrook Healing Arts in Eugene, Oregon. I also run Alderbrook Healing Waves in Kailua Kona, Hawaii. Today I want to talk to you about some simple techniques to help you to ground, center, and realign your chakras. I am going to be using a technique that I learned from my body talk practitioner called balancing the cortices. Balancing the cortices is really simple. It's based on the idea of just balancing your cortex. You have your cortices are the various parts of your brain, and so if you're balancing them, you're hopefully creating more harmony and therefore balance. So basically, balancing the cortices is simple and easy. I'm going to place my left hand at the base of my skull, and go ahead and do this along with me. And I'm going to have my hand like a paddle. It's not going to be wide open where if it weren't a paddle, water could get through. It's like a paddle where if I'm trying to swim, water's not going to be able to get through. And I'm going to go ahead and, like I said, hold it at the base of my skull. And I'm going to go ahead and take my other hand and I'm going to tap on the top of my head. While I do this, I like to affirm to myself that I'm perfect, whole, and complete just the way I am. While I'm breathing, usually I'm doing this silently, and I go down and I tap on my sternum. So I'm telling myself in my head, and now I'm going to switch and hold a different part of my cortex while I tap. And again, I'm just going to repeat, I am perfect, whole, and complete just the way I am. And then when I go to my sternum, in my head I'm going to say that I deeply and completely love and accept myself. I'm going to go back to another part of my brain, and I'm going to tap again. I'm perfect, whole, and complete just the way that I am. I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Sometimes I like to add in there that all is in divine right order. That really helps me to be able to let go of the idea that I'm in control and that there's something that I can do different to maybe change the way my life is going. Once I've gotten all the parts of my head from back to front, I'm going to go ahead and get the two sides. So see how I'm going to hold one side. And it's really important to breathe while you're doing this. So of course, typically while you're doing this, you're not talking like I am today. But those of you who know me, good luck with that. I like to talk. I really like to be heard. If I'm heard, then maybe I don't have to talk as much. But if I don't feel like I'm being heard, carry on. Anyway, so it's a really simple technique. You can learn more about it by going to Body Talk websites and balancing cortices. I personally really enjoy working with Deb Chorney. She's not only a certified Body Talk practitioner, but she's a counselor and she's a friend. So I highly recommend looking her up here in Eugene, Oregon. So as you have just experienced, that's a really simple, gentle, easy, quick technique. It's a way for me to stop listening to maybe one part of my brain. A lot of times it's an emotional, overreactive part of my brain that is screaming louder than other parts of my brain, like my rational sides of my brain. And so when I do that, I feel like I'm more able to face the challenges that I'm facing in my life. With balance, with a perspective that is not just one-sided. So if you are a person that experiences a need for something like that, go ahead and do it. Deb also recommends that you do it even if you're not a person that experiences a need for balancing your cortices. She recommends that you do it on a regular basis anyways because the effects are cumulative. So if you just in general want to have a more balanced brain, more balanced life, go ahead and give that practice a try. Another thing that I like to do after I do my balancing of my cortices, and this is usually before I even get up out of bed and start my day, is what I consider to be an energy cleansing. It's a lining and a spinning of my chakras, and it's really grounding my roots, connecting me to the earth so that I feel like I am one with all life and I feel firmly supported. I know that there is solid ground beneath me and that I will have everything that I need in order to take on whatever challenges I am going to be faced with throughout the day. And so how I do that is, like I said, I balance my cortices, I take some deep breaths. Maybe I'll go ahead and use an essential oil. I really like lavender essential oil. I also like blue chamomile or Roman chamomile. I often place just a drop or two in my left palm. I think of the idea that very ancient Chinese medicine has revealed, and that's that energy flows in on the left and out on the right. So when I'm looking at bringing something into my life, I bring it in on the left. So I place the oil on my left. I'm going to activate the oil by moving it around 3 times moonwise, which by the way is clockwise. When you're working with things in a clockwise direction, you're working with the natural flow. Really, it's, you know, we got the clocks working clockwise because it's the natural flow of the universe to move that way. Moonwise is another way to put it. So I activate it, and then I might just take a few deep breaths. It's like a purification cup breath, breathing in through my nose, not through my mouth. And then maybe after 2 or 3 of those breaths, I might place the additional oil on my ears. It's really easy to absorb pure essential oils from my ears. I like to place them on my glands, around my thyroid and neck. And then, you know, a little underarm action doesn't hurt. Anyways, at that point, and that's optional. A lot of times I don't do that because a lot of times I just don't have any tools with me. So I work with the tools that I always have with me, which are my hands and my mind. And I like to just close my eyes, go within, connect and listen, remembering who I am and where I come from. And then I imagine a white light as a channel going from further out into the atmosphere than I can even possibly imagine, and going straight down through the center of my body, down my spine, through my roots, and down my legs and feet, and connecting me to the earth. And then I imagine that light going beyond where my feet are connected to the earth, where my body's connected to the earth, through the grass, through the soil, through the rocks, and deep into the molten core. And then wrapping itself around that molten core, and then going back up through all those layers. And as it's coming back up through the soil and up into the grasses, it is gathering with it the vital life energy, the nutrients, the vitamins, the minerals, the life force that is what's going to feed my essence. And I imagine then that light coming up through my root chakra, and I imagine that begins the spinning, or it helps to perpetuate what was already spinning, and it helps it to spin even more smoothly my root chakra horizontally. So imagine my root chakra, and I imagine the color red spinning horizontally faster and faster, and any particles coming off of that, so that any unneeded energy is easily dissipated. And like I said, I'm imagining the color red, and I associate with my root chakra my connection to family, my connection to the earth, my stability in life. And from there, I imagine that light beaming up, connecting to my water chakra, which is going to be the color orange, and that's going to really connect me to my relationships, my sensuality, my sexuality. And it's going to be spinning vertically, and I imagine it spinning faster and faster like a wheel. And again, any particles, any energy that is no longer serving my higher self, easily being flung off and dissipating outside of my body. And from there, I imagine that light activating and stimulating smooth rotation of my solar plexus chakra, which is yellow, okay? And that's going to be associated with my willpower. I also believe that that chakra is associated with joy and freedom. So my yellow chakra is spinning, and I'm feeling strong and joyous. And from there, I imagine the light connecting up to my heart chakra. And again, I've got a vertically spinning wheel. And this is activating my ability to love and to be loved and to see the love in everything I experience. And so from there, that vertically moving wheel again is just flinging out any unneeded energies. Anything unlike love is easily leaving my body and my life. And from there, I imagine that light going up and smoothing out the rotation of my throat chakra, which is then a blue light that starts to beam and emanate. And that is associated with my voice, my ability to speak, my ability to ask for what I want and to expect that I'm going to be heard. It's okay to ask for what I want. I imagine these things as this blue chakra is spinning vertically like a wheel. And from there, I imagine the light going up into my third eye, or my pineal chakra, which is the color indigo. And again, that's another vertically spinning wheel that I just imagine spinning and shedding real easily and quite beautifully and gracefully, even anything that is no longer serving me. And I am now able to see what is not necessarily being presented before me, but I'm going to be able to see the love within us all and the deep connection that we all share. And from there, I imagine that white light activating and stimulating perfect rotation. This time, again, it's going to be horizontal, my crown chakra, which is connecting me to all life. And as it's spinning, this time horizontally, it's like a funnel connecting out up into the universe. All of this incredible energy that I have just brought up from the deep molten core of the earth. And I just imagine in perfect alignment all of this spinning, and I then feel open, I feel grounded, I feel joyous, I feel like I'm ready to handle my day. And so I take all that energy with me. I thank myself for taking a few moments just to go within, connect, and to listen, and to remember who I am, and that I'm one, and that I'm okay, I'm perfect, whole, and complete just the way that I am. I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And I take a few more deep breaths and then carry on with my day. To me, work like that is just as important, if not more so important, than taking a shower and washing my outer body. Although, I value that too. And for those of you who don't already know, I also value washing the inside of my body. I practice colon hydrotherapy professionally, and I really like working with the element of water because almost all life is water. And so to exchange the water that gets a little murky from all of the excessive things that I'm constantly bringing into my body and into my life with pure, crystal clean water has been a true blessing in my life. And if you're interested in learning about that further, as well as any of the other things that I have to offer that are usually complimentary, my website is actually click here, learn more, rather than click here, buy more, which is something I take a lot of pride in. So click here and learn more. It's alderbrook.com, www.alderbroke. My name is TaraAlder. My business is named after my father, brother, and son, Jonathan Brooke Alder, Christopher Brooke Alder, and Isaiah Brooke Alder. So if you don't know, alder trees grow abundantly here in the Northwest where I live, and they're often strategically planted so that they can actually guide brooks of water to irrigate fields to feed more families. There you have it. Check me out, alderbrook.com. There is an E at the end of the brook because it's family name. Thanks for tuning in to the Alder Brook Healing channel, and I hope to connect with you again. Aloha, namaste.